So it's much better to create some rigidity and some tightness and tension by pulling the toes back towards your face, making sure everything's tight, everything's, got tension on it. So when we're looking at building load and when we're looking at, cheers mate, when we're looking, it's fine. When we're looking at creating tension and lifting weights, we want to make sure we've got tensile strength through the muscle. So we don't want to be there weak and uncontracted. We want to make sure we're creating pressure and tension. Alright guys, welcome back to another exercise as explained, and we're doing a single joint movement once again. We're going to do the opposite to what we did a couple of weeks ago in the leg extension, and we're going to be doing lying leg curls. First of all, thank you to everyone who has given me positive feedback on these videos. I am glad they're helping. We're trying to keep them short and sweet, but at the same time not oversimplify them. So make sure if you want to check out more, they're in my highlight reels in my personal Instagram page, and I'm going to be doing some more expanded videos on YouTube, so make sure you check that out too. I'll throw a link or a picture somewhere above the screen now. So lying leg curls, single joint movement. We're thinking about hamstrings, we're talking about hamstrings, we want the hamstrings, right? So if we think about the hamstring, the mechanism is like the bicep, right? It's the bicep of the leg, hence the name bicep femoris, okay? So what we're trying to do with this particular machine, very simple. Now we've got a synergy machine here, which is great because we don't really have to adjust it, okay? Thank you, my friend. Now, if the machine that you have has an option to change some of the dynamics, generally what you'll have is the range, which you want to keep in the longest as possible, meaning you don't want it up high, you want to try and take the muscle through the fullest range as possible, okay? Because again, the return on investment is going to be better. We also want to make sure that the pad is set up in such a way where it's at the back now of the heel, and then we're thinking about bringing the toes up, and we're going to think about bringing the heel to the bum. So we can point the toes, and if you do, you'll know about it. If you point the toes, and I'll do it in a minute on here, you're going to activate a little bit more hamstring, but you're going to cause a little bit of cramping. So it's much better to create some rigidity and some tightness and tension by pulling the toes back towards your face, making sure everything's tight, everything's, got tension on it. So when we're looking at building load and when we're looking at, cheers mate, when we're looking, it's fine. When we're looking at creating tension and lifting weights, we want to make sure we've got tensile strength through the muscle. So we don't want to be there weak and uncontracted. We want to make sure we're creating pressure and tension. So on this particular machine, I'm just going to lie over it. Now, if you were taller, you'd lie a bit further forward so you can position yourself in the correct area. So I'm going to get on here. I'm going to make sure, again, the weight was appropriate if I'd not used this before. I'm going to lie over. I'm going to get the pad in such a position. Little pro tip, find yourself a fresh bit of pad that's not worn. And then we're going to lie over, correct position. I'm going to pull myself in. I'm going to think about driving my hips in to the bench. So I'm going to tuck them. I'm going to keep my rib cage down, core straight, because again, yes, that's right, rib cage over the pelvis. We're going to pull the toes, and then we're going to think about creating tension. We're going to pull the heels all the way to the glutes. We're going to slide up slightly, but we don't want to be putting tension on that lower back, so the glutes should be on. Again, the core is on, we're pulling ourselves in. We're going to stretch on the way down. I'm going to squeeze on the way up. We're trying to bring them as high as we can. Again, if we point the toes this way, oof, you will know about it. So for the purpose of this, we'll keep it simple. Point the toes back, squeeze. Stretch, don't hit the weight, pull yourself in, squeeze. Stretch, squeeze. The tempo, because we talk about this a lot, should be as such that you can control the weight on the lengthening and the shortening, eccentric, concentric for technicalities, but ultimately throughout the range of motion. On each part of the movement on any exercise in the gym, you can use gravity. So we want to make sure that we're using our muscle, so we're getting most of the work out of it. We're getting the maximum return on investment through both of the ranges of motion, rather than using gravity on one and then trying to push on one of the part of it and causing injury. So there it is, guys. Lying leg curl, keep it simple. It's an absolute cracker. We'll be doing a seated leg curl sometime soon. A bit different, a little bit more advanced to set up, but almost a greater return on investment. So any questions or queries as ever, let me know. Make sure you let me know if this was helpful, and of course, if you want to see something specifically, DM me or pop it in the comments. And of course, guys, one-on-one is pretty much full. I've got limited availability, but my online is growing, and that's where I'm helping a lot of people now. So online, i.e. virtual coaching, because I'm virtually there with all these online cues on all of the help you're going to get with my academy. Make sure you click the link now on your screen to inquire. It's completely free, and you're going to get real help from a real coach. All right, guys, enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.